Okay, so today we're going to be talking about identifying huge opportunities in the market. I'm talking about opportunities where you're catching 200, 300, 400, 500 pips. And this is something that I didn't understand when I first got started trading. I used to trade with only a 15-minute time frame when I first got started. And I had no reality of bigger time frames. I saw no use in them. And I thought, I'm just going to be a scalper. I'm just going to kind of take opportunities, in the next 5 or 15 minutes. So why would I need to understand the larger time frames? And for those of you that are new to trading, scalping is when you are taking short-term positions. Usually the position could last, a few minutes, an hour, but you're in and you're out. And what I later realized was that if I understood how to identify what the bigger picture was doing, I could actually become a better day trader or short-term trader. I'm going to keep the lingo here super general. So if you've been trading for a while and you're wondering why is this guy not saying trading lingo, it's because I understand there's new people watching this and I want to keep this broad, but you will get value even if you have been trading. I'm just giving you a heads up, okay? So going back to my point, you want to identify what the bigger picture is doing in order to find 200, 300, 400, 500 pip moves. And if you're thinking to yourself, well, Nick, that's not really important to me because I don't really care about that. I just want to capture 20, 30, 40, 50 pips a day. Well, okay, that's fine. You can definitely do that. But I'll tell you this, if you can understand this picture, you can understand and trade that, whether you're, trading, and you're looking for 20, 30, 40 pips, you can trade that with more confidence because you actually understand where the market's going. So we're going to look at the past first, and then we'll look at the future, okay? So I have USD CAD. Now, USD CAD, this is, involves the United States dollar and the Canadian dollar. This is a pair that I like. And one thing I understand with USD CAD is there is correlation to the Dixie. We're not going to get into this today. I'm just going to go ahead and put that out there. Okay, we're just going to look specifically at USD CAD. Now, USD CAD, if you notice here, I'm looking at a weekly time frame, and I have this zone right here marked. And we can see that price has reacted and had strong movements away from the zone when it came into it. 200 pips. 200 pips, 280 pips. I'm just measuring from the, the top to the bottom of this move, 360 pips, okay? So if I knew that this zone reacted a certain way and I understand what this weekly time frame is doing, I can go ahead and look and pay attention to the market when it comes up to this zone and correlate it to my lower time frames. And this is what you need to understand in order to catch these really big moves. Okay, so let's just say we rewind here and we go back and we see that the market's approaching this zone that's been rejected multiple times. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and push play. Okay, now the market comes up here, and on the weekly time frame, you can't really, I'm not taking entries off this weekly time frame. I'm just aware of what's happening. Okay, go to the daily. We can see here at the daily that we were rejected here, and we actually do have communication from the market that we're going down. And then we go back, retest the area, and then we finally make the move. And even daily, I'm not necessarily entering on daily, but I want to go ahead and be able to correlate these to lower time frame. And what we can see here is we actually do have the market consolidating here on the 4-hour. We break out of it. We have a nice retest. And then we actually make a move down. So in terms of entries, there's a couple things I'm seeing here. Number one is we come up to this zone. We're rejected, okay? I'm probably not going to catch this move, realistically. This next piece right here, though, where we make this lower high, that is something that I like to see. And then what I also see here is we go ahead and test the same price point again. And I like to do a multi-time frame analysis where I plug together all of these different pieces and really correlate what's happening all the way down into my lower time frames. And that's how I'm able to really get nice entries. Okay, so you can see how this reacts on the hour. On the hour, actually, you can actually see we do have a nice double top right here. We get rejected, and then we actually have a strong move down. Like I said, I wouldn't have caught this. And if you look at this, this is probably a news event right here. That's a 50 pip candlestick in an hour. Okay. Coming back up here, though, we can see we have this. And this is what I like to see. I like to see that we can see we have a little uptrend here. We eventually break it, and we come back up and retest this zone. And we actually see we have really nice price action right here. And we also have our moving averages that had crossed before. So you can add all of those different things to actually make sense of an entry. Now, just focusing on the bigger picture, let me kind of tell you my thought process now. I don't trade off of this time frame specifically. Like, I'm not looking at a weekly time frame to enter, but I'm having an idea of where it's at, and I'll look to use that data to make sense of the future to find a really nice opportunity. So for example, right now, I'm seeing that we actually made a move to the downside. Right here, we had a move to the downside. We printed a lower low. Now we're actually retracing back up. Now, here's the thing about that. As we retrace back up, I do know altogether we've been in consolidation for the last 230 days overall. We've kind of just been in this range. But if you look, it has overall been going to the downside overall since December, basically 31st, 2018. We've been moving lower. Overall, we've been printing lower lows and lower highs on this weekly time frame. Reason for that being is because of fundamentally, the dollar's been getting weaker, and CAD has stayed about the same in terms of strength, okay? So I'm going to leave it at that, but let's just look at this from a technical perspective. Okay, so we had this move to the downside, and we're making this move back up. We're retracing back up. So for me personally, I like to go ahead and look at these retracement levels, and if I see some correlation here and price gets stuck somewhere around here, let's just say we start to see these different things work together. Price makes its way up here, and we start running into this zone, and it lines up with this trend line. That could be one thing that happens. The other thing that happens is we can just literally find resistance somewhere in here. Ultimately, though, I want to line this up with my lower time frames to actually